You're listening to the Everyone But Us podcast, straight from the heart of London.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Everyone But Us podcast. My name's Lewis, and my guests with me, as always, are
Waymer
and Suge White.
Suge White, for all you people not knowing who it is, his name is actually really Steve, not Marion. But anyway, how's things been going, fellas? All right?
Yeah, not too bad, man. How are you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I can't complain, mate. Just another week of lockdown, still fucking at home, chilling, doing fucking the regular shit, eating, drinking, eating.
Getting fat.
Or not smoking.
Nah, it's definitely not smoking though, man. Just all fucking eating. Still not smoking. I'm 2 months in now, so it's a personal milestone. I'm doing pretty well at the moment.
No respect for that, man.
Well
done, man. Yeah, thank you very much. What have you been up to, Steve? How's work going, all right?
Yeah, work, man. It's like, just to be honest, for me, it's like business as usual, really.
I've been trying to get these guys for, I want to say maybe a month now. I've been trying to organise, trying to get them together. Even before the lockdown came into effect, we were actually going to do an episode at Mill Hill, but it just never works out for whatever reason, because these guys are regularly touring, regularly doing their own thing. So I'm going to keep the introductions real short and real sweet. These guys have been doing some big things in the UK, and they've been a band for like, I checked it, they've been a band coming up this year for nearly 8 years. That's pretty fucking big for like a kind of a, don't want to say a young band, but like a newish sort of like UK hardcore band. So
I thought it was a couple of weeks.
That's what I thought as well. They look like they look like a couple of weeks. So they're all getting fucking they're all looking sheepish in the camera. And I go, but I want to say, without further ado, yeah, I want to welcome GSF, and if you don't know who they are, that is Grove Street Families. Give it up.
What's up, guys?
Yo.
And today we've got Ben, who is the vocalist, and we've got Chris, who is the guitarist in the band. I big up all the other guys who obviously, sadly, we can't have you all on, because otherwise it'd just be a complete shit show of everyone talking over each other. But respect. But how you guys doing anyway? How you getting on, all right?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, business, like Steve said earlier, business as usual for me. I'm still working. Yeah, just trying to get shit done in between. We're in the middle of like writing an album. So, I mean, as much as I could do with the time off right now, I'm just cracking on the same as before, really, man.
That's good. If you don't mind me asking, Chris, what do you actually do for a living? Like, is it like downloads? Can you talk about it? Or?
Yeah, sorry, man, you broke up there, but basically, I deliver meds to people's houses, which I was doing like just before the lockdown and stuff. But on the side of that, like I'm an aspiring sort of record producer, I suppose you'd say.
Like
recording bands and stuff up at Studio 6. Yeah, just trying to push that as much as possible, but obviously it's quite a hard thing to kind of get into and build up clientele and all that kind of thing. So yeah.
What, Studio 6 with Stu?
With Stu, yeah, man.
Oh, right, I didn't know that. Sick.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I had no idea this week you're doing your like, if your other thing that you're trying to obviously progress and get into, man. That's pretty sick, man.
It the main thing, yeah, but at the moment it's like a side hustle. But yeah.
How long have you been working at Studio 6 for then?
I think since about 2015, I want to say.
Oh shit! For 5 years.
Yeah,
about experience then.
It's been like an on and off kind of thing, really. Just like I say, you know, trying to build it up and stuff like that. It's making the transition between like a regular sort of full paid job and going into that. So it's one of those things. It's always quite a hard thing to do with any sort of creative thing, I guess.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Can I
go on, mate. Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah, can I quick? What bands have you worked with? I'm just curious. Any bands we know?
So, I mean, I did some tracking on the Life Betrays Us album a few years back.
Is that why it sounds so terrible?
That's your fault, is
it? Recently worked on European, Dutch band Horza. They got a new album coming out.
Oh, wow.
Wicked, man.
Also, what I do is Watch Me Die. There's another band I've done quite recently. Strike Back, Back Down. Worked on the Guilt Trip record, Unrelenting Force. That was probably
sick.
one of the biggest
cool,
releases that I worked on. Yeah,
that's some big sound. Some of those records you've just fucking. Sorry, I keep swearing. Some of those records that you just mentioned, they've got a big sound. So that's actually like knowing that you've been part of that process and helping her. That's actually a really big thing, man. Keeping it within the UK hardcore family, of course, as well, which is obviously a great thing for me. Like,
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty real. Anyway, so Ben, what about you? What you been up to, mate? How's life for you?
Life's all right, man. Other than this lockdown stuff, I'm still going to work. I'm grateful for actually being in work right now because, you know, a lot of people are staying inside. I get to go outside, have a quick ride around and that.
Yeah, for real. What do you do? Are you a courier or something? Like, as you say, ride around? Like,
no, I'm actually working in a bike shop right now.
Oh, okay.
All right,
just
cool.
kind of doing mechanic sort of stuff with that. And so I get to, like, you know, obviously ride to and from work. So it's nice to be on the bike and get a bit of exercise in as well.
Is the shop actually open still, like, to the public, or are you closed, like, and you just doing repairs and that?
No, it's actually kind of like peeving that situation because the company's actually closing. So what we're doing is we're closing up the whole shop as it is.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine. Sorry to cut you off. Just taking like all the expensive shit and making sure it's all put away properly. And I'm guessing, innit? Like,
yeah, man. There's a lot of expensive bikes in that place, man. So we're like getting them boxed up, like shipping them off back as soon as possible.
Be a shame if one of them was to go missing.
Yeah,
mate.
You know.
What type of bikes are we talking about? Are you talking like motorbikes, like Harley Davidsons and shit like that, or what?
Pedal bikes.
Oh, man. Pedal bikes.
Yeah.
Our boy does that. We've got a friend that does that as well.
Motors get complicated for me. I need something simple.
Nah, man, that's a good
That's a good.
People into bikes in this country now more so than ever. Like, everyone's sort of like getting their road bikes, getting their bikes that they mountain bikes, etc., etc. I mean, although you probably do all types of bikes, but I'm guessing the ones you mostly do are road bikes, innit? Like, for people to get to and from work, innit?
Yeah, we did a hell of a lot of road bikes. Like we was making probably at least about 10 grand a day doing it. It's mad how much people would spend on a bike. Like,
come on,
some road bikes are so expensive, man. Like 4 or 5 grand.
4 or 5 grand.
Yeah,
4 or 5 grand. Like, easily. Seen ones more expensive. It's just too expensive for me, bro. But
wow,
ain't no Muddy Fox rally shit in it. Like, remember?
That's really expensive. Them bikes that fold up. What are they called?
The Bromptons.
Yeah, they're quite expensive as well, aren't they?
1,200. You're looking at.
Damn.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, you don't want to be standing on a train and then some huffy geezer gets on, oh, excuse me, please, with my fold-up bicycles. Like, you should be on the road riding that shit, man. Go take your fold-up bike and ride off into the sunset. Right, let's kick into this, innit? Like, let's get the lowdown on GSF. That's what I'm going to just say. Just keep it simple. Keep the abbreviation rather than saying the whole band name. But yeah, GSF. So, Chris, let me ask you first, mate, like the background behind, obviously, yourself. How did you actually get into music and start out in this world before you sort of got into producing and stuff like that? So take it back right to the beginning.
Right to the beginning. Oh, man. I mean, I was always kind of like brought up in quite a musical household. Like, my dad was in the RAF and he was in the band. He played like the trumpet.
Okay.
So I started doing trumpet lessons when I was in probably year 4 or something at school. And then that just transitioned into playing the guitar in secondary school and stuff like that. They had like a after school club called Rock Band where you kind of like learn covers and stuff like that and then perform to like the school. Yeah. I just got a kick out of doing that, man. I really enjoyed it. And a couple of the dudes that I was doing it with, we formed a band, started going to local shows, just like, you know, any music that was going on, we just be there. It was back in the sort of MySpace days.
Okay.
So I'm sure you remember, man, it was just like every sort of little town had like a buzzing music scene at that time just purely because of this website. Or
definitely.
That's what it seemed anyway.
Definitely. MySpace was big back in them days.
Yeah, man. And it was just so good for finding bands and stuff like that. And that really got me into sort of playing live gigs and stuff like that, man. And then I guess through being in those sort of bands, I got more and more into the recording side of it.
Okay.
Just kind of any way that I could, really, just to kind of make demos and stuff, because we were still in school and stuff, didn't really have money for recording and stuff like that. Of course,
mate. Yeah, definitely not.
And I went to college to do music, and then there was like one little module, I guess you call it, like, of doing production, and that's when I was like, this is what I want to be doing. Like, I don't know, I just felt like music for me was like very much like a way of just chilling out and doing my own thing with it, rather than being like structured in like an educational sense.
Yeah, for real.
So, yeah, I just went and did that. Went to uni to do it. Met Sullivan, and it's been downhill ever since, mate.
That's jokes. What about you? What about Ben? What about yourself, man? How did you get yourself into music and that? Like, was it similar to what Chris was doing, or was your path a little bit different in how you got into it?
It was a little bit different, but quite similar. Like, I was brought up in a lot of like Motown, disco, soul from my mum.
Man, same.
Like, that's what I had. And then I also remember my dad that I found, he had an NWA CD and a Wu-Tang CD, and I listened to them and was just drawn in by it. And then like I remember I turned 11 and I was just about to start year 7, and I was in HMV and I saw Slipknot's Iowa album.
Okay.
It was like mirrored. It just caught my eye.
Yeah.
And I bought it. I was just like, whatever. I don't even know. I just wanted it because of the artwork. I listened to it and was like, this is sick. And then I found like Korn, all those sort of bands. Then went to school. Yeah, had MySpace. But fortunately for me, like, I grew up in London, so I had all those bands that were getting on the whole bit of it on MySpace and this and that and getting everywhere. They all play London, so I got to see loads of cool bands, stuff like that, and that made me want to play in a band as well. And yeah, just like been doing that since, really. Been trying to do that.
What year was that then?
I started going to shows at Underworld and stuff like that in about 2006, 2007.
Oh, okay.
Like, Your Demise, Knuckle Dust. There was like Metal Fest and stuff like that, or Ninja Fest. All of them going on back then.
So you was going, what, if you don't mind me asking, what year was you born? Like, are you early 90s kid or?
Yeah, 1991.
Oh, wow. I'll say,
Jeez,
yeah.
man. I thought that old.
You're 6 years younger than me then. Like, what about you, Chris? What year was you born, mate?
93, man.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Ben is the father of the band, I take it then, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Don't act like it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I wish you would sometimes. I'll tell you.
So you guys are only 3 years older than me. Okay.
We're not talking dog
3
years
years older
man.
than he was in 1967. I think that's fucking
you know what?
fully fucking sick that you just saw an album and you didn't even know what it was and you just thought, oh, I'll have a look at that, and then that's brought you to this place, like, more or less. That's fucking
I was gonna say, Ben, when you got into metal, was you kind of getting into it in the new metal phase, like
Kind of, yes. Like, because I got into Slipknot and Korn, but then like I don't know where it was. Like, I found a kid in my school that listened to like metal as well, and he showed me Metallica.
Oh, right.
And then I went Metallica into more thrashier roots, and then I went into like death metal. I found like Cannibal Corpse.
Oh yeah.
That was me, man. Like, I saw them on Ace Ventura as well, and was like, "Yo, like,
yeah."
Do you know what? Ben just made an interesting point, like, because my route into sort of like heavy music as well, like hardcore and obviously a bit more heavier. I never got into death metal or black metal, any of that sort of stuff. I heard some of the bands and stuff, but most people, not all people, but our generation of sort of like the early to mid 2000s, everyone's introduction to hardcore and shit was kind of like through new metal and that. And it's, I don't know, maybe it's because it's an accessible thing as well. Like, a lot of these bands were kind of mainstream at a time, so you'd see them on TV, and as you said, Ben saw them in fucking HMV. So to just go in and just see a band just like shining at you, almost like, come and buy me, and then you picked it up, and then before you knew it, you're getting into like a different realm of music and stuff. So it's good.
I must admit, like, because Slipknot and bands like that were a bit past my time, do you know what I mean? But
of course, mate, definitely.
I've definitely got a bigger appreciation for bands like Slipknot and stuff like that now than I did when I was growing up. Before I was a bit snobby, like, I'm not listening to Slipknot. But now I listen to them, I can really appreciate how good they are. Do you know what I mean?
Slipknot heavier now than when they first started. Like, I'm not sure what album that they bought, not maybe not their most recent album, but an album before that. If you listen to it, like, you're like, right, it's like, if you're not into Slipknot and you'd heard it, you think like, oh, this is the heaviest band I've heard in the world, like, but it's just Slipknot who've just obviously evolved their sound. They've just obviously gone away from the whole DJ sort of type, sort of like experimental sound. They've just gone for just a bare bones heavy ass album. Because I heard one track and I was like, right, is this actually Slipknot? This is like heavier than anything they've probably done before, even though they are a heavy band. But saying that, when I first heard them, I thought they were the heaviest band in the world as well, like that I've ever heard. So yeah, man, it's kind of mad. So anyway, after that little brief introduction, so how did you guys actually meet and start GSF? Or was you looking to do something different, or was you into something different before you actually started the band?
Oh God, me and Sandy met each other in uni. And okay, you mean Sandy? You mean Chris? Okay, that's his nickname. Oh yeah, it's Chris. Yeah, sorry,
Sandy. I know now. I get it.
we was actually on the same course at uni doing record production, and I remember our first day we went on a library tour, and Sandy we went to the the SU bar thing, and they had the mega pints, the 2 pints in a like cup, and Sandy got one, and like I dared, and I was like, you got to finish that whole thing. And we went to this library tour, and literally he's just like wagging around. And I was like, I'm going to get on with this guy. I know I will. And then in our second year, we got a place together. Was it Coventry Road, wasn't it, Sand?
Big up Coventry Road, man.
Yeah.
The original GSF HQ right there, isn't it?
Sick.
Place, man.
That is the household. And we had a module at uni to record a band, to record 3 songs. We just didn't find anyone to be able to do it. So literally me and Sandy, I
think we had someone lined up, but they dropped out, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. We had someone lined up, but they dropped out. So in the end,
they did, man.
Yeah, honestly, it was best decision that we got, like, they made. Yes. We were sitting there having a smoke in my room playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And we was like, oh, it would be funny to make a band about this for joke. Did it for uni, wrote like literally 3 songs in like, what was it, 2 nights or something, Sandy? Recorded it all in a room.
Something like that, yeah.
No, handed it in, like, and then we was just like, should we just see what happens if we put it online, see what people think? And then somehow it's got to where it is today.
Oh, wow.
It's like a uni project. It's got out of hand, really, man.
Yeah, it's just
pretty much.
It's go on, remember, you say what you guys say.
I was going to say, I love stuff like that's organic. It's not like you guys had this major plan. It just happened organically. Do you know what I mean? I love shit like that.
Never really like, I mean, it was probably the same up to about like the third EP. Like, never really had like a long plan. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, fuck it, we just put this out. Like, you know, we're living together. At that time, all the people that were in the band at that time we were all in the house together. So we were just like, yeah, fuck it, let's just see where it goes, innit? Put something out. And then, you know, before we knew it, there was like, you know, we started getting show offers, tour offers, like stuff like that. And it was just a snowball, really. But I got to give a shout out to like Desolated and Astro Boys for taking us under their wing a little bit when we were like very early band, because that definitely helped.
Yeah, because I remember, see, this is the thing with Deso, like, I knew they'd been, I'm not new personally, but some people had mentioned that they'd been around for a minute, but I never heard of them because obviously they were in a different sort of like scene that wasn't obviously hardcore at the time. They were more into the deathcore thing at the time. So they were kind of big in their own right. But I remember I saw them for the first time when we played back in 2000 and I think it was 2013. We played a show up in Leeds at the Wharf Chambers that Casey, I can't remember what his surname is, but it was a dude called Casey. Like, he used to do Donfest. Fucking good kid, Casey, man. Do you remember? Do you remember Donfest? Yeah, he put that on. Yeah, and he dropped a video. Someone filmed a video, and like, that was one of the first videos that people saw, the whole crowd killing thing. Like, and that's when obviously Deso from there. Oh,
that clip, that famous clip.
The famous clip, like, that's where they just fucking just exploded after that, man. Exploded.
Notoriety, wasn't it, man?
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, they're all good people. I've met them. Like, obviously, Paul's really safe, and Andy as well. I've spoken to a couple of times, but the rest of the band, I don't really know them too tough, but they all just seem, and obviously Richie as well. But yeah, these people are nice people. So to know that obviously you were with them at the time, because they're all Southampton based, obviously, I take it. You went Southampton University, yeah. So obviously that's a good thing that you had these people around you at the time to obviously get on shows and make new friends and make acquaintances, etc., etc. But besides that, what I wanted to ask you, I remember when you first put your name at Grove Street Families, and I looked and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm being real. I was like, how the fuck are these men just made a band after some video game shit? Like, and then I remember I spoke to you, Chris, recently, not like the last radio I showed it we did when you guys headlined. Yeah, and we actually spoke for quite a bit, and I asked you, like, how did you fucking come back? And he goes, oh, well, it was like a uni project. And I was taken back. I was like, bro, I just thought you man were just like, just proper got stoned one night. Well, obviously Ben just explained it, like, yeah. But I just thought it was just kind of mad that it just fucking morphed from something into that, like we used to do. But did people at first sort of like think it was just a pure gimmick and didn't take it really seriously? Obviously, you guys knew what you wanted from it, or didn't know what you want. But what about people who were listening to it? Like, what did they say at first?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess when we started out, obviously we were just absolutely taking the piss, just fucking about. Didn't expect to even play a show outside of Southampton, let alone, all the stuff that we've done this far. So I guess people, saw it for what it was, man. Saw a band just fucking, doing shit about GTA. And then, like I say, like we never really had like a long plan. So when all these offers started coming through, and the snowball effect started, really, we were just like, right, we should probably like put out more music. And then it got to a point where we were like, if we want to grow the band even more, we've kind of got to veer away from that GTA thing. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, mate.
And it was never meant to be like a big thing anyway. So yeah, I mean, if on our 30p, like there's a lot more of like a sort of like transition between, singing about, I don't know, slewing people down with an Uzi or whatever. More serious shit that we kind of wanted to tie that in. So like, there's like themes about like real life stuff that can fit into the game as well, to just like make that transition better.
Yeah. So obviously it wasn't like, I'm not trying to dig out any bands. I'm not going to mention any bands, but sometimes you get a lot of bands who talk about, I'm going to go on the street and fucking shoot you down and be up. Obviously yours was a little bit more tongue in cheek, because obviously the name of the band is based after a video game fucking gang. So like, obviously we all know you guys are nice people. You ain't going to be no one's slewing anyone down. Just like us, like we're in tough bands, like heavy bands, but we're not talking about fucking going on the street and beating people up per se. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you used to, I remember watching you guys the first of a time, and you used to have fake jewelry on. Like sunglasses. So it was obvious, I mean, that it was like a laugh, like yeah. It was.
People sometimes don't get it though, man. Like when we were doing BDF, nobody ever really realised that most of the time we were kind of just fucking about. Like we had songs about killing people and shit. It's like, you think we're really gonna? We ain't really doing that. Like people would just think that that was what we were trying to say, that we were actually going to do.
Yeah, people take it too seriously, man. That's the thing, isn't it?
That's definitely, like, one thing I was going to say, your first release, did you put out a demo before putting out the Los Santos EP?
No, so there was Cleaning Up the Hood, which was the first track that we put out. We put it on my SoundCloud.
Okay.
And then we put, where we got like over 1,000 plays on it or something, like in a short space of time. We was like, right, we've got the other two songs. Let's put them up onto Bandcamp. And then we had a Bandcamp account where we put the LS EP onto.
LS EP, yeah.
Yeah.
At that point as well, no one knew who was actually in the band, and I think that created almost as much hype as the actual like music itself. Yeah, people. I remember going Unit, which was like an old nightclub in Southampton, like the Grebo Club. And there was people out in the smoking area being like, oh, like, have you heard this GSF band? Yeah, I don't know who it is. And I remember me and Sully, we were just stood there like creasing. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
That shit works though, That shit works.
Straight up.
Yeah, mate, bit of mystery.
I love this bit of mystery. It's good. But yeah, listening to the LS EP, I can definitely hear that it's like there is obviously some Mel influence, but something else comes a little bit later, obviously, which we'll touch upon. But the first stuff I can definitely hear was more like a heavy hardcore sort of type. Was there sort of any influences at the time that you sort of like listened to, or was there something that you just wanted to just put out yourself because of what you guys were into? Like,
I think
Oh, you go, so.
So we had this other guy that lived with us called Chris Woody. He was one of the original guitarists.
You got a friend of me.
Amazing.
We got to Woody, so go on.
But Woody liked a fair bit of terror, and he was really into his metal as well. But so the first EP, I think, personally, was influenced a fair bit by Terror and Pantera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can hear that. I can definitely hear that. Yeah. Especially with your vocals at the time, and that, like the some of the lyrics are fucking really jokes, like tongue in cheek sort of type shit. But obviously, I knew what you guys were going for at the time. So yeah,
we were just having a lot of fun, wasn't it? Wasn't we? Like, it's just fucking jokes in the studio, just messing about, man.
Yeah.
Who came up with all the music then?
It's pretty much myself and Woody at the time. And then Woody kind of left, and then as members. We kind of went on, new members joined, and the writing dynamic, I guess, changed. But yeah, it's always been sort of that way, really.
All right, cool, man. I hear a bit of like suicidal in it as well. Suicidal, take offense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I know, not trying to sidetrack, but is it Ben? Do you skate?
Yeah,
well?
I do. Yeah.
Was that influence? Did that come into the music as well, or?
Oh hell!
Because if you watch a lot of skate videos, it's usually kind of upbeat punk playing in the background. Do you know what I mean?
Right, like skate videos. Honestly, I'd get put as one of my major influences for my music taste today. Like I listened to so much different stuff because you had so many different skate videos where you had like guys skating pools, and you'd hear more like suicidal and like thrashier stuff. And then you'd have like certain guys that were just street, and then you'd hear more like Dilla beats, Woo, just like stuff like that. So you had like a really good range. Yeah.
I just want to because when I grew up, I was into skating for about I was heavy into skateboarding for about 10, 15 years. So like, you still skate now, do you?
Yeah, still skating as much as I can.
You any good?
I used to be better when I was younger, but now I can't be asked to flip the board anymore.
Okay, yeah.
What you
street or ramp?
Street more than anything.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, me as well, man.
Yeah, I always try to get into skateboarding, but I just never had a lot of friends who were into it, so it's kind of hard learning. But
just never had a lot of friends.
Thanks. Cheers. You know what? Thanks.
Just a quick story, right? Because I was skating for about 10, 15 years, then I gave up, and I think in my it was my mid-30s, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start skating again. And I was, it takes time. I was just getting back into it. And I remember there was like this foam, like a foam that they put, when you buy like a video or something and it's covered in that foam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found this bit of foam and I thought, let me try and holly it. And fucking anyone that's trying to jump anything, never use foam, because if you land on it, it sticks.
Yep.
And I tried to jump this fucking foam box and I proper stacked it. My arms were fucked. And I was just like, nah, that's it, man. Done. Yeah. I miss it so much, man. I still watch skate videos and stuff.
I was gonna quickly say, like, so yeah, I was in the skating a lot, but I was just, even basic tricks I wasn't really good at. I could skate really fast and I'd get around and shit, but that was it. Like, kind of gutted I never got into, like, stuck with it, but whatever. But I was always into the skate videos.
Yeah.
Only recently, like, say, past couple of years ago, I saw the Zoo York mixtape. Have you seen that one?
Oh, bro, talking about Zoo York mixtape, bro. That is OG video.
It's the soundtrack that makes it all, man. It's the soundtrack and the little bits all the rap. Yeah, man. Rest in peace for Hunter, definitely, man. But I think that's probably the best skate video, like street-wise anyway. Like, that is the best, what's it called, skateboard video that's come out. But anyway, that's a little side. Did you skate, Chris?
Yeah, I try, man. I just have fun with it, mate. To be fair, just go for roll around with Sully at uni and that, and then got more and more into it and stuff like that. But like Wayman said, man, I think it's one of those things that's easier to get into when you're younger because you don't have any fear when you're like that at that age.
Definitely.
But when you're a little,
but you look a bit stupid when you
go wrong. What's that?
When you're like, sorry for interrupting you. I'm just saying, when you get older and then you're going into work and your arms all fucked up. Yeah. And then you're telling people, I fell over on my skateboard. Yeah.
Mate, exactly.
Look a bit nuts.
Oh, about that promotion.
You're going to have to give up the skateboarding first.
You know what I mean? So I was going to say, obviously, so you put out the first release and you guys have obviously now gone, right, we can actually do something with this. So you've hit the ground running. So you got a few, do you remember your first show in particular or no?
Yeah, we put it on ourselves.
We put it on.
Oh, wow, man. You man's fucking organised as shit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, again, it was a thing with uni, and what was it? We had to put a show on at the Joiners, and because obviously it was a sound and audio degree.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. There was like a live sound kind of aspect to it as well, so we had to do the desk and stuff, and we put us on. Drowned by Oceans, a band from back where I'm from in Salisbury, and CB6 played it as well, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was Joey in him at the time?
I think he was actually. I didn't know Joey at the time as well as I do now, but I'm pretty sure he was. I think he had long hair back then as well.
Grande.
That was that fucking emo fringe we were chatting about last week, wasn't it? Big up Joey.
In it. So you've hit the ground running, you've put in your first show, then you obviously played a few. Did you just play Southampton and that surrounding area for a while, or did you start going out and playing other places up and down the country first, the UK and obviously everywhere else?
I think we played Birmingham first, wasn't it, Sand?
I thought it was Cardiff. I'm not too sure.
It was Cardiff.
Show or something.
Yeah, it was. When we first started, Astro Boys wanted to book us for one of their shows. I think it was a release show. Okay. And it was so bad, we had no transport. Literally on the day, I was like, we can't make it. So we pulled out of that, but then they had another release show following on, and then we managed to play that. And then, we played like Cardiff, and then we did Birmingham. And then,
I think the next shows after that, we did like a weekend with Desolated, where we almost crashed the car.
Oh, really? What happened?
Well, tell us your story.
Out, man. You know those slip roads that are going onto motorways, they always seem to go in like a loop kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Obviously, you know how it is when you starting a band out, you're in a fucking hatchback with like the merch and like, the roof. So obviously this little Corsa was just so overloaded, man. We just went round the corner too fast and it fucking span out.
Holy shit.
Like sketchiest fucking thing ever. I think we crashed into like the side barrier, and luckily it weren't further down the road because we just span out onto the motorway.
Wow.
Yeah, we got there, had a laugh about it, played the show, and it was sick.
And then claimed the known claims bonus and all that.
It is climbed the GTA, to be fair, isn't it?
Fly out the windscreen or nothing, but
that is jokes, right? So you done a few weekenders, and when did you guys get out to Europe eventually? Like, was that a few years later, or was that not too far off after obviously doing the initial UK stuff?
Oh, that was we first did Europe with No Rest.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Old, Jake Marlowe's old band, isn't it?
Yeah, Jake Marlowe's old thing. We did a couple of days here first, and then went out to Switzerland. We did a drive from like London to Switzerland or something like that. And it was like Cardiff, 17 hours. Yeah. Was it Cardiff?
It was Cardiff.
You drove to Switzerland, your first show, like?
First show out in mainland, it was like an 18-hour drive.
That's a mission, man.
Oh my days.
It was a mission, but do you know what? Like, because we'd never only dreamt about going out and like playing, shows.
Yeah, just do it, innit?
Mate, we were just gassed.
Yeah.
Like, we got to Calais, stocked up on like the fucking Amsterdam beers that are like that fucking big.
And got the Lambrinis in as well.
Yeah, we just had it in the van, didn't we? Like 18 hours, it was sick.
When you put out your second release, I'm going to do the abbreviation talks. I don't want you guys getting in trouble because we was going to ask you guys some questions about your band name and that if you got into any sort of like drama and shit, but it's probably best we don't say anything in it because we might get some fucking
down low.
might get spoken to by some big ass companies and shit like. But the next release was obviously another EP called the SF EP. When did you guys put that out, and who was the one who was behind it in terms of like the recording and everything else, and who was in the band at the time?
I think it wasn't too far off the first one or it might have been like a year apart. Because the first one came out and we only played that one show that I was on about earlier.
All right.
And like
it was a year
it
apart.
wasn't going to be a thing. I think it was probably like a year after we were like, okay, we're getting, a few more show offers or something. And we were like, okay, let's put another EP out. It might have even been another uni assignment. But yeah, we put that together. We were still living in a house and that. So it was nice and easy, man. Like I think we wrote like another 3 songs in like a week or something. And now it's literally taken us like a year and a half, maybe 2 years to write 10 songs. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking weird how it works. But yeah, we put that together, recorded it at the uni because we were quite lucky where we had free access to like the studios and stuff.
So it sounds like
that's the one. That's the one, man. That's if you're in a band and you're obviously still at uni, you can obviously record shit and you can do stuff there. You don't have to pay for none of it. And obviously, you was trying to get into music production itself, so you can just literally have a go with it. And if it comes out all right, it comes out all right. If it comes out really good, then you're happy with it. But at least you're getting the experience of actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So DIY,
yeah, that's it.
Course.
It's kind of cool, like to have something to almost like being able to build like a portfolio with GSF as well. Like obviously it was getting a fair amount of shares or whatever. Like people were hearing it, and that kind of helps like get my first couple of clients in as well, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was useful, man.
That's pretty cool. I always must say, like, the artwork as well has always been pretty cool, what you guys have done. Obviously, the first one was just a little bit basic, but the second one looked really good. It obviously kind of ties up with what the company with the game we're doing. Like,
I know you can't talk about that, but you see a lot of people whipping that logo. I mean, everywhere, didn't you? So it's a bit.
It's like the posters and that they do for it. Like I've seen loads of.
I've seen hip hop artists do it. I've seen. Yeah, they must be chasing a lot of people, man. But
oh, probably.
Yeah. We don't want to get in trouble.
I mean, yeah.
They definitely are. All right, so obviously you put that out, you've toured. I mean, we can obviously talk about you playing shows and that, but I think the next release after that, the LV EP, is probably the one where your sound gets a little bit different and you're starting to carve out what you wanted to do. And that's what Wemba mentioned earlier on about the influences. You can definitely hear the fresh in a lot of these tunes that you did. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the LV one? Because obviously you also done a couple of videos for it as well. Is that when you kind of thought you can actually maybe do something with this band now? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, like I was saying, like at that point we were kind of like, right, if we do want to take this, a little bit more seriously and, get bigger opportunities and just grow the band in general, then
to the next level.
At that point, that was when we were kind of like, right, we got to kind of tie in like real life situations with the games. So it's like a nice transition or whatever. But yeah, at that point we kind of teamed up with Ven Records, who it's Lags from Gallows and Ian Dickinson as well. Shout out to him and Charlie. And we had a manager at the time as well, James Ilsey. And that kind of combo, just like, I don't know, something clicked and, it just set the ball rolling on a whole new level, really. We got, a bit of press out of it. We were on the radio and got like download off the back of that as well, which is just crazy. So yeah, I definitely think the third EP was like where it kind of stepped up for us a lot.
I ain't gonna lie, I was mad jealous, man. I was mad jealous for download, man. What was that like?
Oh, insane. Man, it was an experience.
Did you meet up with any artists?
We had our backstage, like what's it? It's like a porter cabin, isn't it? Like that was right next to Slayer.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Man, it was all like gated off and stuff, so we didn't see any of them. But yeah, it was.
We saw Kerry King.
I didn't actually see him. I think you boys did. I was fucking jealous of that, man. But yeah.
Oh shit! Did you see anyone else?
Dillinger Escape Plan.
Steel Panther were like shooting.
Yeah.
They were like filming, so I just walked in front of the camera. I think they got pissed off. I think I saw. Is it Joe Perry? Is he the Aerosmith guitarist?
Yeah, Joe Perry. I
think that's him, right? So I think, from what I could gather, all the Aerosmith guys were getting like coming in their own like limos or whatever.
Oh.
And I remember seeing like these fucking like this girl, like scantily clad girl, like come out of this limo holding this guitar, right? And then all of a sudden you just see Joe Perry just get out, like grabs the guitar and just walks off.
What?
It's a crazy day. Like,
that is ridiculous. That's so sick though. But with them bands, that's if they're not doing that.
Yeah, like what's the point?
What's the point? They're supposed to be doing that shit, man.
For sure.
So what's the setup? What stage did you play on?
We were meant to play, I think it's called the Dogtooth stage. I think that's the name of it, like the smaller one. And for whatever reason, like a slot came up on our stage that we played, which was the Avalanche stage, which is like the third one. The slot on the like original slot that was on the Friday night, and the one that we got offered was obviously in a bigger tent on Sunday, and I think it was second on
midday.
We were quite torn as to what to do, because obviously we had quite a good slot on the Friday, and obviously Sunday night everyone's going to be knackered, like hungover to shit. So we were like, but we rolled with it, and we were like sound checking or whatever, or like tuning behind the stage while the first band was on. And this was, how big would you say it was? So probably about like 5,000.
No, it's a 7,000 cap tent apparently.
7.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So yeah, the band were on before us, and we were kind of poking our heads out, and there's probably like 50 people in there, and we were like, fucking hell, boys, like we've obviously like built it up to be an amazing show in our heads. We were just like, right, fuck it, we're here, might as well just enjoy it, like have a sick time. And about 5 minutes before we went on, sort of looked out again, it was like, fuck me, it's like packed.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it was sick, man. Like honestly, like without gassing it up too much, it was like best day of my life, man.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, where it was on the Sunday, we had to watch every single band like do it before us.
Yeah,
so, like, it weren't like we could just get it out of the way with, and those nerves just built up and built up and built up. Yeah. And then once we got sound checking and stuff, it was like, right, we're used to doing this. Like, this is just another show. Just fucking crack it out. And it was sick. Yeah.
What was the reception like?
Yeah, it was decent, man.
Oh man, wicked, man.
That's good. That's cool, man. What? So, do you reckon people were actually like, oh, I got to check out Grove Street? Do you reckon it might have been because of the link with what we mentioned previously? Do you think so? Maybe? I mean, obviously, you're gonna have fans who are into you because you've been going for a couple of years, 2 years by at this point. But do you think some of that must have helped with the sort of like, oh, that's kind of mad that there's a band named after this. Let me go check it out. Do you reckon that had something to do with it?
Yeah, man. I do believe so, because you see the name and it's like, oh, right. Like, what? Like, you recognize it because obviously where it's from, the game, like, it's for our generation, it was such a big game.
Definitely, yeah. I can attest to that, definitely.
So a lot of people relate to it. And, like, we didn't even realize that we was going to do anything like that. Like, that relation wasn't a factor to us at all. So for it to get where it has with it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to quickly just talk about, I know you've got videos for your other tunes as well that will come later on, but I wanted to talk about Right to Reclaim and Rest in Power that you put out on the LVEP. Who done those videos? Like, because they're actually really well done.
Really
together,
good, man.
like, yeah, really cool videos.
Thank you, man.
So they were shot by Right to Remain Violent. That was shot by a girl named Martina, who did a lot of stuff, but then it was edited by a very, very close friend of mine, Keith Passy, who's like an absolute master at editing.
I know that dude, that Keith. I've seen some of his stuff in that. Like, he's definitely got around and done a lot of stuff with a lot of bands and stuff. Not just hardcore. He does a broad range of things, isn't it? Like, yeah. He's
been a really close friend of mine for like 15, 16 years. I've known him since school. We've always skated with him. We've made
sick
skate videos together. He's done music videos for us. I've lived with him as well, so I got to spend a lot of time seeing what he was working on, and he even asked me to help a little bit, like a bit of input.
He's proper tight and shit like that. That helps when you've got someone who's your friend in that, like who's into that sort of thing and can do that sort of thing to a professional standard. Because the videos are all professional, man. Like it's not no DIY thing, especially what's it called. Right to Reclaim. That's the one where you're on the stage, on this like
Right to Remain Violent.
It's almost like what's it called, innit? You hired at like an old warehouse sort of type thing, and you just played on the stage. You just went from there, innit? Like,
yeah, I was going to ask, because that one you got like a plane. You got where did you get? Is that like some kind of hangar? I saw a plane in the back. I see cars.
Yeah, I can't remember how we found out about it. I think our bassist at the time, he like his old band like used it in a different angle and had like a hookup with it. So we went in there and we were like, fucking hell, like they got planes, like all these old cars and shit. We were like, yeah, this is like.
What is it? Does someone own it? Is it? Do you have to? How do you get permission?
So there's like an airfield up where I'm from in Salisbury. I think it's called Old Sarum Airfield or something. It's an old like air hangar, and there was just these two old like grease monkey dudes, just like I don't know, just working on shit. And they were like, "Oh yeah, do you want to just use our generators and stuff completely free?" We were expecting to pay like I don't know, like a good couple of hundred for it. And they were like, "Yeah, cool."
Oh, I think it was cool. Like
for people that haven't seen the video, what's that film with Tom Cruise? What's that film where he's smuggling drugs?
American Made
or something like it's called.
Yeah.
And he's working from a hangar. It looked just like that.
It looked like Passenger 57, the hangar in that one. If you ain't seen Passenger 57, check it out, mate. Always bet on black.
Is that Wesley Snipes?
It's Wesley Snipes. Yeah. Deep.
I ain't watched that for years.
That film is. Chris and Ben, have you seen that film before? Passenger 57.
Yes, but not for a long time. I've seen it.
That's one of the 90s bangers, man. The English dude, his name is it Thomas Paine? Or Rain, something like that. Like, but his nickname's like Reign of Terror or something. He just does bare. Liz Hurley's in it, actually. She's
really.
In yeah, Liz Hurley's in it. And at the end, when she gets arrested, and Wesley Snipes is like, what a waste.
Everyone but us. Straight from the heart of London.
I'm sure you started touring after this Downloads appearance. Am I right?
Yeah.
Big tours,
Doing decent tours, yeah. Some really fun tours.
Yeah, we got with MAD over in Berlin, man. I think that was just before Download. And then, I think the first thing they hooked us up with was Aggie Front around the UK for 4 days, I believe it was.
Wow.
3-4 days.
Yeah, man.
That's sick, man.
Yeah, that was unreal, man.
Vinny's cool, innit?
Oh, man. Stigma.
Hey, what a dude. He sleeps just all day, doesn't he? Like, and then just run around the stage like a nutcase, man. But yeah, he's a good dude.
I mean,
how did you get the hookup with MAD? Did they approach you, or did you approach them? Or
I think they approached us. I think they contacted our manager at the time, and then we hooked it up. I mean, I'm a massive Municipal Waste fan. When I saw that they were on like MAD, and obviously I know a lot of other big bands and stuff, I was like, yep, sick, straight up, let's do it.
Yeah, we toured with the
Iron Reagan,
the offshoot of Municipal Waste.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
When we done that. Oh man, that was really cool, man. They're all cool people as well. Like,
yeah.
So you bought out Volume 1 mixtape. Again, was that on Ven Records, or did you guys do that on your own?
They put it out on tape, I believe. Because basically, we were trying to write like the album before we started writing, or before we sort of come up with the idea of putting the mixtape out. And it basically got to a stage where we were like, right, we should try and release something before Download, because obviously we knew that we were on this bigger stage. We were a little bit worried about getting footfall there and stuff. So yeah, we decided to try and put something out before Download, with the idea of getting, a bit of press attention and stuff, and getting it in people's faces so that they'd be like, oh shit, like I've just checked that band out, let's go see them, sort of thing. So we did that. We put it out ourselves, I believe, on like digital format, and then Ven did the tapes.
Do you normally just put stuff out digitally, or do you try to go for some physical copies of stuff as well? Like,
oh, I love physical copies, man. It's all about physical copy. And when we did the LV EP, I was most stoked because we got to do vinyl, and to me, that's a big thing.
Yeah, I see some of the colours and stuff that you guys did with it as well. Which is that the one with like the turquoise green sort of like?
Yeah.
It's like a toxic waste sort of one. It's called toxic splatter.
Yeah, the artwork. I've got to say, the artwork for that particular release is actually really good, man. The artwork is very striking. Obviously, it's got definitely that LA '92 riots vibe about it as well, which is pretty cool. Like, so
who done the artwork for it?
I can't even remember.
I can't remember, man. Our old guitarist Lou sorted all that sort of side of stuff out. But
all I know is
when we got it back.
There's some guy from Brazil, and he does really, really good artwork. That's all I can say.
I'm hitting this guy up, man. That artwork is dope, man. Yeah.
I do like the old sort of like people who can just draw something, could just come up with something. You say this is what you want, and they can just put it on a bit of paper, and then it's there in front of your face, man.
I was going to ask you about one of your tracks, man. Sundays. Who done the beat for that?
Oh, that was our boy Kurt Fagan. He's mad good at hip hop. He works in a studio down in Southampton at the ranch. Mad talented dude, man.
That's fucking wicked, man. I'm into beat making and stuff like that. And I was listening to that, and it's wicked, man. Proper good.
Oh, that's sick, man. I'll let him know. Yeah, we got Obi-Wan on it as well. He's a good dude of mine from where I grew up. And he's quite big in the lo-fi scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was pretty cool, man.
How did that all come about? Does that you just decide to put a track on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
album, or was it
always like kind of tried as much as we can to kind of like tie in a bit of like a hip hop kind of vibe with it as well. Like whether that's like an intro to a live set, an intro to an EP, or like in this case, like a little interlude. I know Kurt was good at making beats. Sully's good at making beats as well. He's made a couple of our sort of like interludes and stuff. So yeah, I just hit him up and was like, "Yo, do you want to hook it up?" And he was down for it. So yeah, it was cool. He actually filled in on our first tour as well. Actually,
yeah, he did.
Bit of a Sugar Babes tour. That's what we called it, because I think there's only like 2 original members in it, wasn't there? It was just me and you.
Yeah.
Sugar Babes.
Who's your bassist? What's his name?
So, I mean, basically, we've had a bit of a member change in the last sort of probably like 6 months. So Art used to play bass for us. He joined just when we started doing, a lot of sort of weekenders and stuff like that. And he's just left recently, and Lou's left as well. He was our original bass player, but then went on to guitar. And he's just started a new band for all like the shoegazy kind of emo fans out there called Oversize. So go check them out if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, we've actually got Andy from Desolated. He's stepping in on guitar.
Oh, nice.
Band originally. Well, cool. Actually, we've had loads of members, man.
Because I noticed there's a picture of you with Andy as well, like way back in the day, like 2013 sort of days. So he was in the band originally, helping out, or was Yeah,
he was with us for, I think we did our first kind of tour. That was the guy who Andy was driving when we almost span out in that Corsa, or we did spin out. And then he left because he joined Desolated like a week before flying out and doing like a 6-week US tour. So we were like, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Like, hats off to you, mate.
Fair play, man. Like, you got to take those opportunities when they do come, I must admit.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And then, yeah, it's just come full circle, and he's back in the band.
So I wanted to quickly touch upon that video for Make With It. Like, that actually looked really fun. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun doing that video.
Yeah,
like, I know Ben looked like he had a lot of fun. Was you?
Oh.
Ben, you look like you was in space, bruv.
I was in another dimension. Let's just say that, bruv. It was a crazy day.
Where did you guys film that? Like, did you go to a proper studio to get it done and shit, or was it?
No, because so we had a really low budget on that, and then Kiva, who filmed the video, he had a green screen at the time, and I was living in this place called Cable Street Studios up in Limehouse Ways.
Oh, I know Cable. Yeah, I know that, but that is.
Yeah, and we had a big studio space within there, and set up a green screen, and it was just like, we can just film here. Let's just grab some stuff. So we got like a disco ball and boards and loads of stuff, and we were just messing around with it.
Came out really good, man. I remember when you first dropped it, like the sort of like the promo sort of shot for it, and I was like, oh shit, this looks pretty fun, man. It looks like you'd definitely be interested in that. Did you put it out on Kerrang first, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it premiered through Kerrang.
Yeah,
it did.
Facebook, I believe so.
Yeah, that is true, man. See, I definitely remember that. Like, I remember seeing it because by that time you guys were like doing bits and that, like moving around. And last year you played Boomtown.
Yeah, man.
All right. What was? I've heard of. Wemmer, Steve, do you know much about Boomtown?
Nah.
You never heard of Boomtown? So basically, I know a little bit about it, but obviously these two will fill us in a bit more better. But Boomtown is basically like a massive festival where they have like all different types of artists. So remember you played that thing in I think it was in Slovenia or Croatia.
Serbia.
Yeah, Serbia.
Exit Fest. Yeah.
Yeah, where you had like Grace Jones and Migos and then Knuckle Duster on the bill. That's what Boomtown is basically like, but it is in Bristol.
It was weird having like everything, like you say, from like Gabba all the way through to like, I don't know, like Cancer Bats or like black metal or whatever.
That's nuts.
It was weird. It was weird. Like you'd finish playing a song and you could just hear jungle in the background. It was so strange.
What's is the setting as it is? Is it in a town? Like
they build it out like scaffolding and like MDF and stuff, man. It looks amazing. Especially if you like, if you fucked, like you ain't gonna tell the difference. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
But it's obviously on a massive field, sort of like type fucking acre sort of type shit. I'm guessing, like,
bro, the scale of it is intense.
Bigger than Downloads.
Like, yeah, I would think so. Like, we got there on a Friday and left on the Monday, and pretty much like we didn't even explore all of it. It was that massive.
Rah.
I'm just looking at the flyer from 2019. They had Prophets of Rage, Lauren Hill,
Napalm
Death, Napalm Death as well.
Yeah.
You've never seen some of these artists before, and you happen to play this particular show, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Salt and Pepper after that." It's pretty fucking cool, man. Shit, man. So yeah, by this time, you men have been moving around and getting us some massive tours. You done a nightliner?
Not yet.
Yeah, but we just today actually we just announced a tour with Rikers over in Germany.
I did see that. Yeah, in December.
30th. Yeah, end of December, and that's going to be essentially what is going to be our first bus tour. So man, I'm fucking pumped for that.
Shout out to my brothers and Rikers, man. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, when you played with them, I could see the tour post behind you. You was on that tour with them, wasn't you, a couple of years ago?
I've known them guys for years, man.
Oh, okay. Did you know
the first ever show in London, which Pierre put on Damage Control? That's when I first ever met them in '98 or something. But
wow,
great band, man. That's going to be a. So how many dates you doing on that tour?
It's 4 dates altogether. It's from Boxing Day till the 30th.
Boxing Day?
Yeah. It's going to be a sober Christmas this year, I think, man. You've got to drive out to meet the bus and stuff, but yeah, it'd be sick.
No, that was always the date they do. Apparently they do it every year, and it's what I've been told it's really good. So I'm like,
that's really cool,
they do that every year, because I noticed if it's an MAD thing, I'm not sure if it's just MAD, but Born From Pain, they always do like a Christmas time. After Christmas, they always do like a 4-day show for like mostly through Germany. I think it's mostly through Germany and maybe a show in Holland or something that they do. Like, you done the UK leg of Cancer Bats, Comeback Kid, and Sick of It All. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that a good experience?
It was a really, really good experience. Like, Comeback Kid, I've heard for like so many years and stuff like that. Cancer Bats I'd listened to previously, and like Sick of It All, they're sick of it all.
Yeah,
we got to play with them a few years back in Southampton, and it was a great show. So when we got told, do you want to do these dates? It was like, yes, like straight away, yes. And they're all really like everyone in those bands are lovely people, so warming, like caring. So it was, normally like some tours you have to take a couple of days to fully get in to know everyone, sort of.
Yeah.
That was like straight in. Like everyone's like, yeah, how you doing? Like, grab some food or like have a drink. Let's play the show. So
that's really cool, man. What venue was that? Electric Ballroom? That one? That was, wasn't it, in London?
Yeah, that was the last show on it.
Not Electric Ballroom. It's Electric in Brixton.
Electric Brixton. Sorry, yeah.
I've never been to that venue. What capacity is that?
I think it's 1,500.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
don't think I've
so.
ever been there actually.
No, I've never been to that one.
every time you play fucking these venues or Underworld now, you'd be like, this is pussy, man. We play Download.
That's the thing, we did Download and it was back to playing like British Legions and shit. Hey, I love it, man.
There's one thing I will say, man, like getting to play Download and Boomtown is like a great experience, and it's really cool to see and try these things, but there's nothing better than playing like a small room filled up with kids just going crazy.
That's true, mate.
Yeah,
that is and I would definitely say is when you guys played that Ready Eye show that you headlined the 3H one, like that's a good example of that, because people were going nuts when you were playing, and I think it ran over a little bit, but people still hung around because we had that after party and shit. But like, definitely, that's the first time I actually properly saw you guys as well. I mean, I've seen you previously, but when you're in a room and there's nowhere for you to go and you're just going to watch the band, I thought, man, these fucking boys know what they're fucking doing. They know how to play as well, and you've got good energy on stage as well, man. Really, really good energy. So
yeah, man.
Thank you, man.
Do you put out a track, Shift? Is that the last thing you recently put out?
So we're currently writing a new record. We're writing our debut LP. It is taking quite a while because we're used to writing EPs.
About GTA.
How many songs have you got written?
I think we're on number 7. I think we've got 8 done, but we just need vocals on it. I'm probably going to get a telling off of our drummer for saying that, because he's like, no, we're changing everything. But like, I think that's where we're at with it. So yeah, we're definitely over the halfway hurdle, man. It's just one of those things, isn't it? We just want to get it right, even if it takes, another year or so. If it's the first release, like album release, sorry, like might as well just smash it.
Get it right, innit?
Do you enjoy the writing process?
The thing I don't like about it is just like you got to like appeal to everyone in the band. Do you know what I mean? Like I could be stuck with a riff and then it would just get like shot down. And I try not to take it to heart, because that's just part of it, man. That compromises how you reach the end product at the end of the day. But yeah, it's a slog, man.
It's the worst when you come up with something and then you're like, this is so fucking good. I can't wait to show the others this shit. You play it to them and they're like, one person in the group chat's just like, oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah. So says nothing.
Yeah. Or they'll cut, you'll send it over, you'll be gassed on it, and then they'll be like, mate, that's this riff already. And they'll send it to you, and it's exactly the same. And without
Jamie, times I've done that.
I fucking hate that, man.
There's 2 things I do. I either write a song, and I'm like, that's amazing. And then I listen to it back and go, oh shit, that's fucking Entombed or some others. Or I write something and I think that's fucking amazing. And then I listen to it the next day and I think that's fucking shit.
Yeah. Depends how intoxicated you are, man.
Ben, are we allowed to talk about the lyrics? What type of things do you like to sing about it?
There's a lot of stuff, I think. So obviously a lot of the stuff written before is about sort of the game and like trying to relate it to real life and stuff. But now obviously where we're moving away from being GTA sort of based, we're trying to make things sound more like, real life. There's certain things of like, Sandy wrote some really cool lyrics, like for a song about how you shouldn't be kept down, how you should like try and better yourself and stop keeping yourself trapped in that. And I think there's some good themes on this record that I think will be related across. Yeah, I think with the lyrics, we just now, because none of us really are like natural lyricists, so it's super hard. But we just like Sol said, we're just trying to, like write it about what we're kind of personally going through and keep it as, open to interpretations as we possibly can, so people can relate, all sorts of different things. But I'm a guitarist by trade, man. I find writing lyrics tough as fuck.
Are you allowed to write songs about being happy in hardcore?
I don't think there's anything wrong with being like talking about how happy you feel currently. Like you might have met a great person in your life. You might have a good job or everything's just going well for you at the moment. I don't think it's a bad thing to actually talk about it personally.
Nuclear Family Records presents the split EP from Cold War and Mantlet. Cold War from South Wales bring you angry vegan hardcore. And Mantlet from Coventry bring upbeat, metallic, mosh-heavy anthems. find it on Nuclear Family Records Bandcamp. Out now.
All right, guys, I wanted to ask you, both of you, to answer this. I did send the question over to Chris. We've done it with SKC the other week, so I wanted to give you a bit of a heads up. Your top 5 hardcore or metal bands. Doesn't matter if they're new, if they're old, but who are your top 5? And let's start with Chris.
Mate, like I said to you earlier, I wish you could have given me like a week's notice about this one, man. Tough, man. I'd say I've got to go with they're not, typically hardcore, but they're definitely in like crossover. So Municipal Waste for me, man. They're just all-time favorite band. Cro-Mags as well. That Alpha Omega record is just insane. War Hungry. Probably got, if we're talking all time as well, probably Suicidal. I don't know. It's just such a hard thing, man. I'll go with a new band now.
You put 3 strong bands down. And as you was talking about...
Two more, come on, you can do it. The list
2 more.
changes.
Name 2 UK hardcore bands that you're into as well that you really like. Or you
right now, CB6, they just released a new record, and it's fucking insane. And Revulsion as well.
So, Bane. I always love Bane.
Yeah, I like Bane.
Bund 'Em Out.
Bund 'Em Out.
Exactly. Who else is there? Power Trip. They're absolutely an amazing band.
Yeah, everyone. See, I know a lot of people in the hardcore scene who fucking love Power Trip. I'm not really into all that. Like, they're not super metal. They're just like really thrashy and good at what they're tight though. I know they're very tight, but I'm just not into it, man. I like snare drum flavour. But anyway, sorry, let me cut you off there.
That's all right. I guess Suicidal Tendencies always will be one, and I have to say Metallica.
Yeah,
fair.
That's hard.
Up to what album or after what album? Because everyone has that. Everyone always has that thing in it. Like we won't include Saint Anger in the list, obviously.
Do you know what? I don't mind Saint Anger. I'm going on a
snare sound, bruv.
I don't mind it.
People said that album aged really good, really well. I've heard that said quite a few times.
I remember the video when it come out, when they done. So I remember they done 2 singles for that on CDs that come out on HMV. I remember I bought them both, but the video was actually pretty cool because they filmed it in San Quentin, didn't they?
Yeah, that was
video.
No, was that Saint Anger?
Yeah.
They actually used real prisoners for it as well.
That's it. Yeah, they did.
I think that album, right, when that come out, because Metallica have been doing some pretty kind of like soft shit, and then when they did that, I kind of just thought, this sounds like a band that's trying to sound like Metallica. It don't sound like Metallica anymore.
Chris and Ben, is there like any music you listen to like that I would call your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure.
That you're embarrassed about, that you wouldn't really want people to know about, but you're going to say it on the podcast because you don't care.
To be honest, I'm pretty proud of everything I listen to, but there's like with the weather that's coming in now, right? And the job that I do, I go down like country lanes and shit. Mate, I've been banging on the banjo music recently, bro.
That's cool, man.
It's sick.
Yeah,
man.
I'm a bit scared of that music because for obvious reasons.
Don't get John Carter on it, mate. You know what he's like.
Do you put your white hood on when you listening? What about you, Ben?
I couldn't even tell you, man. I listen to so much like weird music. Like a lot of my friends are just like, you always come out with some next tune, and I'm like, I don't know. It's got to be
music in it.
Yeah. Can you name one or?
Boy, you know what I have been banging out a bit recently? Do you remember Eternal?
Eternal?
Yeah.
Bruv. Okay, I'm going to say it.
What song do they sing?
I Want to Be the Only One.
Oh, you want to be the only one to...
Eternal with...
the 3 Black Girls.
And Louise Redknapp.
Oh, Louise Redknapp. Yeah.
Was it?
Louise Redknapp, she was in it. She was the original member, yeah.
They were like the original, like, Destiny's Child.
No, they were before Destiny's Child.
Yeah, they were.
That's what you said, the original, yeah.
They were
the
like,
original, oh yeah.
They were like what they wanted to be.
They had one banging song actually.
It's called Stay. It's called Stay.
How's that go?
I ain't gonna sing it, but you just Google it. Like,
Yeah, I feel like you boys are judging me for the banjos.
I remember driving around in America and it was like fucking 100 degrees Fahrenheit on the little dashboard, and I tuned the radio into some bluegrass, and like we had the windows open, just driving down the highway. And I just remember thinking, actually, I'll get it now.
on that note, I think that's the end of the interview, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, thanks for having us on, boys.
Of course. What is this now for Grove Street? Where do you guys go from here? Obviously, you spoke earlier, so you're writing an album. What else do you hope to achieve? Do you hope to play the main stage of downloads? Do you just want to continue doing club shows and shit? Or
man, I'd love to play download again on any sort of stage. I mean, I'd love to go and tour the US. I want to hit Southeast Asia, like just more places, bigger tours, stuff like that. Just keep doing it, man.
If we can continue playing shows and go to new places and experience new things, I'm always down for it. Get this record done and see where it can take us.
Thanks, everyone. Just bear with us. We're doing all of this over the internet. But at the same time, even though we're doing that over the internet, at least we're able to get the people who we want to interview. We'd like to do it in the studio, but at least we've managed to actually get it done. And obviously, much respect to Steve, who's doing all the editing and all the audio and stuff. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. This has been Everyone But Us podcast, episode 21. We've definitely got a lot in the pipeline, and we've got a few people who we're definitely going to be speaking to. So everyone watch this space and make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and obviously all your favorite streaming platforms. And make sure you check out our Instagram page and of course our Facebook page too. And make sure you check out Grove Street Families as well, because you definitely will not be disappointed. All right, guys? That's all right. Take it easy.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Cheers, man.
You're listening to the Everyone But Us podcast, straight from the heart of London.